doesn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't be economically feasible.
There is no molds that are possible here. I mean, there's complex magnetics. There's the glow in the dark. That's the other thing too. Someone to inlay this with all of the because it's not just painted on or whatnot. This is fused in to the stone. It's fused onto the stone or the crystal on tons of different types of crystal, calcite. I'll get the light here and show you. Um,
Please
just
do.
because I think it's really a relevant thing because it's very time consuming to get all the cracks and crevices of these types of things to make it look like that in the dark. Definitely a level of
Like,
love there, you know.
it's infused into the geopolymer or the ceramics, the crystal itself. It's
Bonded
not
on, like
bond.
yeah, and it's not done with high heat either because this is a phosphor based strontium powder or material, and so it would be damaged if it was heated up. It would no longer glow.
Right, exactly. And you said you have found some that are modern fakes, but it shows, right, that they're
Oh yeah.
completely different. Do you happen to have one on hand to show a comparison? Because I remember last time it was like just the glow itself, you could see how ridiculously less advanced it was.
I'm trying to think if I do. Let me turn the light back on here and see. Man, I don't know if I do, to be honest with you. I
Fair enough. I would throw them away too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still have a couple just for reference, but yeah, I don't have any in the room. I've got just too many pieces in general, so I try to keep it,
Fair, right?
fairly good looking. Yeah, I don't think, that when I got this piece, for instance, I thought this might be a fake. He gave me this as a gift. It is a real basic piece of, stone, I thought. However, fast forward, this is geopolymer. This white in here will glow like a sieve. And so at this point, I don't think it is. And we will actually be able to date that geopolymer now as well, as long as the method shows to be true to what it is. We got to get more of an average there, but it's, you know, it's a good thing. This is like a cowbell. And there's a lot of depictions of cows.
Almost like in India.
Yeah.
They were divinators.
Well, or Egypt. They even mummified them in Egypt.
True.
This thing's ridiculous. It's huge. And then, let me grab this light right here.
Looking very Egyptian-like. Oh, wow.
You can see it really lights up if you get it just right.
That's so cool. It's just...
Yeah, and that's onyx. Since...
Right, like not cheap combinations or...
Well, to do onyx like that, here, I'm going to turn this light on so you can see it better maybe here.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. Okay, it's not. It's creating a line or something, but nonetheless, this is carved in a reverse fashion. Like this is like almost sandblasted in these voided areas. So you can clearly make out the carvings and I guess where it's not carved to see these images. So, yeah, how they did that exactly is still something of question. I mean, like I say, it could have been sandblasted, but if it was, to do that type of design work on onyx. Never seen it. You'll see this thing lights up. Um, there's no cords going into this. It's
Huh? What?
got like copper electrodes in there. Let me turn the big light on here. Actually, I'll put it on there so you can see it at nighttime.
What in the?
Yeah, so I mean,
That needs to be
literally,
X-rayed.
I have no idea how that's even possible.
Like, and see how something like that would make indigenous peoples with no technology think you got magic, essentially. That's
That's
insane,
borderline magic for me, and I'm not indigenous or
right?
ancient. I got an iPhone, man. Like, that's still wild. I mean, I don't get it. There's clearly nothing. Oops, sorry, it's backwards. There's nothing inside of this. It just has and all of them have some sort of open thing.
Oh,
So I don't know if there's maybe a ring of magnetic in there. I still got to do some testing with the CT scan. We need
yeah,
to find a big CT scanner that will get it in there. I need to work with like an imaging center, hopefully, and
100%. That needs to be CT scanned and see what's in it. And right there, it's like you'll either see modern batteries and circuitry or some sort of ancient technology and instantly verify.
so it definitely has like some electromagnetic vibe to it for sure. I just don't
Can
know
you
enough
run it
about it
once
to
you have
say.
the? Can you put the skull back on it and then run it again? See if it
Oh, sure.
increases the field size strength.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's just like some electricity going through the.
Right?
Might be less now.
Might be less.
Yeah, which that might make sense too if it's using the energy.
Using it.
Yeah, interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
So there's multiple devices. There's four of them now. Um, they vary in how they work, and I think that it's definitely magnetic based. There's been stress tests done. 14 days, it'll light that thing up, no problem. Enough to where we were like, okay, I don't think it's gonna die. I mean, it's
really?
this old already. You know what I mean?
You should almost just have a live stream of it going
I,
indefinitely,
I'll
right?
tell
Like,
you what, man. Once we know how it works, and I don't need to
fair,
be like, yeah,
fair.
this is a real thing
Give it a
anymore.
run out.
We get a couple more of them. Yeah, we'll play around for sure. I want to know.
Absolutely. That's just mind bending. And wow, just wow.
Yeah. Yep. It's really something. We tested this watch here um, down in California when we went down to the lab, and you can see on the top of this, it's a magnet, and this is actually a dial that goes inside of this. It comes out. It's magnetic as well.
Sundial. So it's an actual ancient watch.
Yeah, but the
And they're all magnetic.
yeah, and it's an iron ore you can see in there, and somehow though they had
Okay.
the ability to make it magnetic. There's certain pieces that we have that the polarity is very very specific. The top of this egg right here also has a magnet.
What? That's so wild.
Yeah, so we're learning. That's for sure. Definitely compared to a year ago, I saw this thing. It was a year anniversary on this video I made, and I just couldn't believe how much we've learned in the last year. It's crazy.
Right, and since we even since, well, I guess we've been doing this a couple years now.
Few years
A
actually.
few, wow. Well, we're almost at 30 interviews together, so
Yeah.
I guess so. But yeah, and like there's been so many different discoveries that have happened, and so much we've learned of it. For those that are unaware, do you want to maybe go into a bit of the ones that had the petrified grass seeds in them?
Yeah. Yeah. In the lab in California, a gentleman came named Mark Sims, and he's researched and gone into these pieces pretty deeply for a long time, like a decade. And him and Nassim Harriman and quite a few of these guys, Klaus Dona, Scott Woltar. There's a lot of people who have really got into this. Um, at some point in their careers. Did they come out with finalized data or pursue it? I haven't seen anything from any of these people recently. However, I've talked to some and people who are involved, and they're all still actively interested in this topic. So it's not like it's a dead thing. And but nonetheless, Mark cut. There's these pieces. I can show an example here. I believe, yeah, right here actually. There's this. The style of art from Abuelo Stilisco, and it's glued with this red glue, and these are different pieces of stone. So they backed it with this green stone and then glued this together. Well, for instance, if we were to take this and cut it down the line right here with a saw, that's what they did to this disc. And inside of the disc there was like a you can wear this disc as a pendant, and so there's a thing that's drilled into the top of it. Well, as this thing had sat in the ground, likely water piled up inside of this bale and worked its way down through inside of the piece. And the Mayans and different cultures would put seeds in as like offerings and inside of their pieces. They do gold and other things as well. We found gold too inside of these mosaics, but the seed had germinated from the water getting to it and had sprouted out a sprout, and it fossilized inside of this piece. There's a video on our YouTube about it if you look it up, and it clearly shows this mineralized, fossilized, crystallized, whatever you want to interpret it as, but clearly a full on fossil of this thing growing inside of the stone, which is wild because the path the water had to take to get inside of this thing, it almost looks like the Grand Canyon. Like it had to really push through geopolymer to get there. And then let alone there's no light inside of it. And yeah, this is a pipe. I
Right.
saw the question there. I'm just using it as an example of the one that they cut in half, which was a disc. So
Yeah, and it's like that the actual root formed and then died and then petrified within it is just, it's so wild.
yeah.
Trying to bring up your channel right now to find it in the
Yeah. And it
videos.
wasn't that wasn't the only time either. There was another one right around the same era that Customs got a hold of, and on the forehead was a large inlay. Like they cut another piece of stone and put it in for like their sacred eye or something of that nature. Well, Customs got it, and they must have saw something in there, so they cut this thing out with a looked like a hacksaw or something. I mean, totally destroyed the piece. But inside of this thing was a seed. I mean, completely like there's no way it could have not been a. Yeah, here it is, right here. Yep.
Right, and so so the guy that bought an artifact off of you to test it himself,
He
cut it
didn't buy
open.
it off of me,
Oh,
but
bought it
he's a
off someone else.
collector. Yeah,
Fair
yeah,
enough,
yeah. He
right?
brought it from home. Yep.
And goes through, cuts it, and then when finally gets it open,
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah. If
yeah,
you stop that, you can see. So there's the bale up there at the top, and it it worked its way down through all the way down to the bottom where the seed is there.
Oh, I wish it would let me go enlarge
There's
it for
another.
some
Oh
reason.
yeah, just frame by frame or something.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's a
Here's
good
up
shot
close.
there.
Yeah, I guess for some reason, maybe it was. I'm not sure why it's not letting me go full screen.
Oh, full screen. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, figured it out. So yeah, here you can see where the seed is, and then you can see the root where it goes through there. It goes down here, splinters a little bit each way, possible mold, and that it's
Oh no,
completely
check it out. It's
petrified.
definitely mold. The next frame or two frames over, you'll see another high resolution of it in there. Oh, there's this one
Right?
too. This
There's
isn't the one
another
I'm
one of
talking
it.
about.
Yes, the mold, a little bit of mold. Yeah, all mold through there as it dies,
Yeah.
mold through there as it dies. The root comes through there, and oops, looking for the right frame.
Yeah, I think it's a little further after this. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, there it is. That's the one.
this one.
Yeah, that's the mineralization and caused from mold. The blue is brought forth by the mold and the crystallization, which takes
And
like thousands of years to occur. Like this isn't just something that can happen rapidly. Like you can't expedite this process,
right, like
which gives
especially
pretty much like guaranteed antiquity to this piece. I mean, there's the carvings on the face of it. Someone could argue that the mosaic itself was made in ancient times, but the carvings were put on modernly. You know, obviously there's an excuse for everything that someone could try to argue it with, but um, the law of average, I think, really will play the nail in the coffin at some point, or the large
exactly.
civilization, the big statues and the buildings and stuff, which it sounds like they
And
may
then
have
so
documented.
is was this the second
That's
seed from the
no,
other
that's the first
artifact?
one. That's
That's
the
what they pulled
removed
out of it.
hole. Yes,
Wow.
yes. And
Removed
what's interesting is AI couldn't determine out of it could narrow it down to three different seeds, and all three of them predated the Spanish coming, and they were like landrace seeds from before the Spanish. Because when the Spanish came, it changed all their grains, and a lot of the old ones were no longer utilized in the grass specifically.
right? So AI verified ancient seed species.
Yeah, it's
One
an
of
ancient
three.
grass
One
seed,
of
one
three.
of three. Yeah.
Right? Like there's just
There's
no
the other
one
one.
would
There's the
go
other one there that they took that cross out of the forehead. There it is. Yeah.
yeah, so this was customs, took the cross out of the artifact, either because
You can see. Yeah.
they scanned it probably and were either like there's someone smuggling a seed in potentially thinking maybe it was parasitic, or they didn't scan it and they thought it was just some fake thing trying to smuggle something else
Drugs or
potentially.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been full of something that could have been there. Yeah. So, but
right.
the piece was definitely not broken in vain. I mean, to see that type of tributes or that type of offerings to be given inside of these projects is exactly what you would want to see. There might be some carbon dating available from those seeds too in the future for sure.
Just amazing. And another pieces of evidence of how every test, everything, it just keeps coming up ancient. So
Yeah,
either the world's absolute largest ongoing hoax that would be costing probably hundreds of millions at this point to be able to get all of that together to fake it, or just ancient stuff.
22,000 pieces. I mean, we're talking just serious effort regardless, and many years in preparation. They would had to have started this with a team of hundreds of people back in the 90s to even justify trying. And
Yeah.
that's if they could get the good enough artisans to create the consistent Because here's the thing, you could hire a bunch of people, but are they going to be able to mimic each other's work exactly to the point of being able to tattoo a piece into relief with this type of expertise on stones? You know, these are semi-precious stones in some cases. I mean, not so much the fluorite, but still, even just the raw value of this fluorite is not inexpensive. The quartz, especially some of the quartz crystal skulls, 80, 90 pounds. These are worth many thousands of dollars, just even brand new today, not carved with the surface at all, just a normal crystal skull.
Right. And do you want to, do you have the lens, the fluorite, available to show the,
I got a couple different
right?
ones. I got a new one here. I'll show you this. This is pretty ridiculous.
Right, because that also ridiculously expensive to get those sort of minerals and crystals. Wow, wow. And what's in the center?
It's fluorite.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Check it out. Here, I'll put this flashlight behind it real quick. Here. We'll see how many hands I have here.
What? You don't have 6 hands like the figures in the carvings? Well, I guess not this one. Got what looks like Thoth or Ra and Ra there.
It's got a Horus and
Horus.
Anubis, or Ra and Anubis, depending.
And again,
and it's got the Bogasphere on the back, as well as carved on the fluorite in the middle, which is interesting. You know, this Boga chip popping up everywhere. Got some crazy theories about it. We've gotten all these skulls with it on the forehead. You know, and
without some of those. Right, and
yeah.
a couple of them showed up before the Bogasphere, and then more being dug up afterwards. And it's the potential of, was the Bogasphere like sent? Is this drone either activated or sent now that all of these other artifacts are being dug up potentially?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. You know, back in January, start to finish dig video of the Boga chip on a Bogasphere, a big mosaic sphere that weighs 65 pounds that came out of the ground in Abuelos de Jalisco. And at the time, people are just like, oh, it looks like a computer chip. Cool. You know, nobody really made a big deal about it. My buddy got it down in California, and after the Bogasphere came out, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, man, I finally went to my mom's and got my phone. I'd gotten a new phone, and the pictures and stuff were on my old one from WhatsApp, and I had to go download them. And he's like, but that Bogasphere he sent me dig videos and everything. And they were back in January, and the Bogasphere came down in March, which is crazy. Right now, I've documented a bunch of spheres and different things that looked similar to the Bogasphere on our pieces for years. For 5 years, and even the things that Nassim Harriman and Klaus Dona presented back, 10, 15 years ago, also had spheres very predominantly, but not with the chipset design or anything like that. What's really crazy is after the Booga crashed, the spike in Booga items just went through the roof. Made me think, boy, these guys, how the heck are they doing this? You know, like this just doesn't seem right. And a lot of the guys, they use GPR to find places to dig, and then they go at it. Well, a lot of the guys too, they're not very wealthy and they don't have GPRs, and they'll go out, with a buddy, and they'll use pendulum. And there's oral techniques of how to use these pendulum to find these pieces. And as you saw, that there's electromagnetic frequencies, there is a potential that these things could be being found that way. Well, what's affecting that electromagnetic frequency might have something to do with this chip. And so this chip is being depicted being held up by this 6-armed being. And I found a coin from the 6th century AD. It's a Gnostic coin on, I believe it's garnet, and it shows this 6-armed figure almost identical, and it's known as the Sophia. And there's this book, it's a lost book for thousands of years. No one had really any record of it until the late 1800s. In the Nag Hammadi area, it was found, and it wasn't translated to English until the 70s. But this book is extremely relevant with what we're finding. And So this Sophia character is holding up this disc, and it looks just like the Bogasphere. And so we think that she, because she's the one that created the demiurge, and there was something in the Gnostic text called the seal of the demiurge, or the mark of the demiurge, rather. And so the mark of the demiurge, mark of the beast, could it be that this is the mark of the beast and that these items are depicting that? And that's why it's so old. And it's ancient technology from a time where these gods came and manipulated species or whatever, and they had this type of technology. I don't know. It could be something that the Ajiji made as well. But the fact that we see Sophia holding it up is really alarming to me at the minimum because of her relation with the demiurge and what kind of amounts of depictions of Saturn that we see. I mean, Saturn is depicted on these items all over the place, and these beings are trunked beings, and they sound much like the ones that are depicted in the Hindu texts and things of that nature. So this era may be the same thing that's being documented there in the Mahabharata and stuff.
Absolutely. And that in Egypt, there's always one that is defaced. And is that what's missing out of it? Because you have all the exact same archetype characters except for that one, but you have a defaced one. And I suspect that's why, and that's what it is.
Yeah, there's something in the history that they wanted to deface the noses and also the female, you know, with the persecution of Nefertiti and the not having her body and whatnot. I think there's definitely after her there was something happened. You
Agreed.
know, yeah, we're just not perfect, which is great. I love that. You know, it makes a good movie, but dang, when it comes down to some of these texts, it absolutely feels that they were written differently for sure.
And it kind of goes to verify the creation legend of how it's channeled, and that it's directly channeled from God, from source consciousness. And
Yeah.
every human, I believe, has the ability to be able to make that connection. You just have to be at peace with yourself, the universe, and God, right? And reach the stillness within to be able to do so.
Yeah. Yep. Unconditional love. That means faith, truly believing. You know, I think that's the threshold that we have to overcome, and it's really tough. It's one thing to go to church and brush your teeth before bed, but did you floss? You know,
Right?
yeah.
Don't
Did you
floss.
really
Gum
buy in?
disease is
You
going
know,
to take it
yeah.
all. While we have you, do you mind if you have them available showing some of the crystal skulls as well as like the ones that are like carved out that are like flutes and
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me
going
try this.
over,
I got it right here. This one's
because
always.
like this is amazing, the just the craftsmanship
So this is
technology.
probably a geopolymer. You know, it's a very interesting type of stone. The way it's, I mean, to make a hollow out of a rock like this would be real time consuming, especially to get it into the tuning in which it is. Even if it was a geopolymer, how they did this is still.
Right, like you'd
I
have
really
to
don't
maybe
know.
like
I
get a
mean,
3D modeling of it to then print the mold to then put it in. I don't know. It's just such a perfect sound. It's
it is pretty ridiculous for a skull. Definitely never seen nothing like that before.
so wild,
Let's see. I think.
right? Because you have
I've
a
got.
few of them too, and
I know.
uh,
I've been moving stuff around because I got so many pieces this year. They made all these discoveries, and things just went crazy. So yeah, a lot of them are in secure places, and I'm trying to build a museum and get that going so I can have
Reasonable.
everything. But this one I can't play. I'm trying to show up in here. You can see there's a little slit right there by my finger, that literally goes over this, and you can put a like a wood reed in there and probably play this, I would imagine, with beautiful sound.
Ah,
But it's nothing without it. So
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Needs the
it's
vibration.
authentic for sure. The fact that they would have that there, and definitely means that they were trying to harness music out of it. It wasn't just a novelty. Like they took it to that level of requiring a reed.
And yeah, engineering it. Do you happen? Ooh, another one.
This is a telescope
The
here, a
telescopes.
bronze one. Been probably about 7 or 8 of these bronze ones found. This one's actually part of a larger piece. I'll show you here if my phone will work. There's just one dead spot in my room, so hopefully it'll be okay. But you can see this large boat, and
Oh
inside of
yeah,
the box right there, there's it's for both the telescopes.
that's wild. And then you also have a few fluorite ones, but you may have moved them out.
Fluorite telescopes. Well, I got yeah, that one is down in Texas, and
So
this
you'll
guy
follow
here has a fluorite lens as well.
lens.
Yep.
Just wild stuff. Do you still
There's
have
the
the?
this is a scale, and then it has a magnetic thing here, like, and it's strong too. Like you can see it fighting me here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. There we go. You can see it hanging sideways. But I
That's
don't know if it's
pretty.
for prediction or what. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's freaking fascinating.
Most of these pieces, these two are from Tula, but these are all from Guerrero, including these bones.
Just wild.
A lot of bone stuff from there. Oh, this is a whistle here. It's got a guy driving looks like a
Freaking
spaceship,
spaceship.
but then you can see the holes are there for a whistle. I'm not gonna play it, but you saw it at least. This is
Do
a
you
big
still?
slab of obsidian and probably 2 inches thick. It's really sharp to move it, so I'm gonna leave it there. But
That one reminds me of the Michigan tablets from the late 1800s, and that were all made on obsidian. What? Gold flake.
yeah, gold leaf. Yeah, it's even got it down inside of there on that eye. It's all carved on the inside as well. Solid calcite, and then the bottom of it's a ridiculous drawing.
Solid calcite.
Yeah, well,
And
not
it's
solid. It's hollow. I mean, yeah, my bad.
well, yeah, like, but it's calcite and it's been
Yeah,
carved out, and just that's insane.
yeah, yeah. A lot of these are crystal or calcite. I mean, massive
Wow,
vessels. This thing weighs like 60 pounds.
that's just wild. What?
Yeah, a lot of horned beings. You see that being there with the horns, right? So there was these skulls that all came out. You remember the skulls and how some experts were saying it was
Yep,
kind of like a bovine, right?
yep.
Or kind of like a cow, rather. And well, it very very well could be like a cow. It does have the places for the horns. Sorry. And you look at the positioning of this stuff. I mean, it's definitely possible that it could be something of that type of race. I don't know. Or they were just really into the cow because of this. They might have been creating hybrids of cows. It's really hard to say. Yeah.
That's wild.
Just like Egypt, though, with the Serapeum or Serapium, that all the mummified cows that they found there. There's something with the cow, that's for sure. And then now we eat the cow. Like, was that punishment to her? You know?
Or sacrilege, and is it why they're
Well,
still
and the pigs
revering
not
it? Yeah.
like in Jewish, and I don't know. It's just interesting the meat and how that all pans out with halal and different types of you know food approvals or whatever. Obviously, it made its way into religion somewhere, and that's I guess the weird thing.
Yeah, and were we originally all vegetarian or didn't need to eat at all? Energy beings potentially? I'm not sure, but it is very, very interesting how in different parts of the world it's a different animal, but there's always one animal revered that shouldn't be eaten.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The magnetic properties are wild.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? Energy around it, that dowsing rods and
Yep.
to be able to find them and attract it. It's the old school way.
This thing's magnetic too. You can get it to sit on there just right and it'll float. Super tricky though.
And the star charts, like just like in Babylon and Samaria, it was clearly a worldwide civilization, and for whatever reason, they've been erasing the history, covering it up, and lying to us on all levels.
Yeah, that's really one of the oops, sorry. That's one of the biggest mysteries I think for sure is why the disclosure. And maybe the demiurge had a period of time to still rule. There was rules involved, and it talks about the oath that they made against God and all of these things in the book of Enoch, where they were the watchers. And then in the Pistis Sophia, it says that they would be forced to look to the left for a period of time and then forced to look to the right as Jesus took 1/3 of their power.
You of the ones that have these crazy alien-like runes on them.
Yeah, let me grab one here. I can actually bring this over. This seems pretty cool. Oops.
Right? Just it's so wild.
Yeah, let me grab.
It's like proto alchemy symbols, which just I find so fascinating.
So like this one's really interesting. It's actually got alchemical symbols on it. You can see the mercury and the sulfur.
Yeah.
The feathers being shot up by arrow or something there. I don't know. It's very interesting with the
That
keyhole.
one is that actually looks like an alchemical process or something.
Yeah. And then on the
And the
back, it's got
football.
the bird guy, which I think this is the feathered serpent, like you can see the scales on his neck and things. This could be the feathered serpent in a humanoid form. We know he took
Right.
different forms.
as an alchemist, I naturally have to kind of lean with a bias that is Thoth, because Thoth also was bird-headed
Well,
architect.
he was an
Right.
ibis, and this guy comes from the Sumerian, and I mean, it's I guess there is a plausibility, but I don't think so.
Very interesting. In the above the nose there, between the eyes, it almost looks circuitry-ish towards Bogasphere-ish style.
And there's Three Eye Atlas there, see, and there's a
Right?
Bogasphere down there.
Wow. When did you
And
get
this
that
piece,
piece?
I documented this piece back from Jorge Leon before he passed away, or actually it was right after he passed away. So it was right when COVID hit, probably 2021, 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of
That's
my oldest Abuelos pieces. I won't sell it because it's got sentimental value.
that's amazing. I definitely need to get me one of those. And there's a
You need to go
couple.
down there, man. Spend a week. I just sent my my good friend that showed me these pieces. Well, he went to Mexico, but I connected him with the people that do the digging in Tula and some close friends over there. And I explained to him that, hey, you know, my buddy's coming down there for a trip, and he would like to maybe see some of this stuff, maybe the petroglyphs or whatever. And you know, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't know me and you wouldn't know any of the people I've brought into this, and we wouldn't have any of this. Like literally, it was him that turned me on to this, and that bet me the money that this was real. And so they took him on the most grand adventure. I mean, it was insane. I was pretty jealous. He dug a massive crystal skull out of the ground. I mean, and he went on his own accord. It's all documented. Um, it's super great. He found they took him underneath the pyramids and into the sites at nighttime and allowed him to really examine the polymers and how these things were put together, and gonna have some really cool content coming on that really soon. I mean, it's definitely things like the Star of Inanna that are pictured right there on the temple, massive, huge relief um, in Mexico. So at the Temple of
I
Venus, you know?
definitely. Well, the next time I go to Mexico, and it's on my to-do list once I get me some money, is go down there. I will definitely go explore and ask for those connections and go on that tour because that sounds beyond amazing. Um, like going under pyramids anywhere is on my bucket list and should be on everyone's. Really, like, is there anything better than them? I don't
Right.
know. I
Yeah, I saw
don't.
the guy's message that claimed that it was all buried, you know, last year, and that they're dumping this stuff in the ground. And I said this, we're way beyond that right now. There would have to be entire towns, and we know the size of the towns here, and there's no way these things are being backpacked across the country and stuff. We have so much evidence of them coming from Tula, you know.
Ooh, is this the piece that you showed just earlier on in the
Yeah,
stream? Or
yeah,
yeah,
that's the one, and the skull too.
yep.
Actually, yeah. I
Right.
got the
There's
other
them
skull
coming out of the
upstairs.
ground,
Yeah.
coming out of the ground.
But no, I definitely I was a complete skeptic for 3 years on this, so I don't mean to sound so you know for sure on that, but I just definitely suggest at least doing the math before making a an assumption. You know?
Right, and it's it's so intriguing. It's so wild. There's so much encoded information and the processes and how advanced it is. And well, I all you can do is keep testing it, right? And keep
Yeah,
adding
and
more and more real science.
yeah, that's the best part. There's so much more money being poured into this now. It's so beyond me. Like I pretty much, let her go by now. I'm just kind of sitting back, watching the seed come to fruition at this point.
Exactly. But since let's do this all again very soon, my friends.
Do it proper. Have a great night. Great rest of your weekend.
You as well. Thank you.
See you guys.
Much love, everyone.
You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just burning.